Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. Big up to everybody that just come over from more LB, where we watched PSG destroy Inter Miami. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Smash these likes up. Make sure you guys can subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. And big up to Mansour for the 10 bomb right at the start of the stream. Big up to you, bro. I appreciate it. W's in the chat, man. Yeah, love for the 10 bomb, man. I appreciate it, bro. Hopefully, you're good in it. Yeah, what you saying, bro? Long time no see, bro. What's happening?
Guess who's back? Back again.
Guess who's back? He's got no friends. He's got Citeh. He's got Citeh. He's got no.
Nice one. Yeah. Shut up, Eggman. Shut up, man. No, man. It's good to be back and on the main channel. A rarity for me these days.
Yes. So, yeah. You're a second channel merchant.
I'm the B team.
Yeah. You're a substitute.
Yeah. But you do know that normally you put your best on the channel you want to grow the most. That's why I'm always on OLB.
It's facts.
Yeah.
It is facts. Are you coming back on the player ratings this year?
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah. But don't ask me like for 5 a.m. player ratings, man.
Oh, so Tuesday morning against Al Hilal, you won't be there, no?
No. But you do know I work, yeah? I have a normal job.
Yeah.
But
I do know.
Isn't that the last awkward
Yeah. That's the last one. Every game after Tuesday's 8 p.m. UK time.
Nice.
So this is the last one that's like a rip time for the Europeans, man. But yeah, what you saying, man? We've not spoken for ages. What are you making of Citeh? The rebuild so far? You liking what you're seeing or what?
Bro, I really like what I'm seeing. You and me talked about it before the end of the season, what was needed, and I think the club has addressed what it needed almost. For me, we still need a right back. But so many good news, like revamping the entire backroom staff. Pep seems like rejoiced, re-energized. The players seemed re-energized. And I love Aït-Nouri, I love Cherki, I love Reinders. Such good signings. High expectations for the season. Haven't really spent a lot of money. At this rate, we probably go out in a net profit this summer. So I think we should go throw the book at Livramento, get that right back, have Nunes and him as the two right backs, and I think we have a very complete squad as it looked like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the right back thing is obviously an interesting one because we spoke about it so much, and obviously Nunes is such an interesting player. Yeah, because obviously, and we'll come on to it. Don't you worry, Camaro. We'll come on to it now because obviously, if he's a good player and he's been doing so well, it's the question of do you think he can do that for the full season? I mean, you've obviously heard what everyone's had to say on social media. You probably heard what people have said on my channel and that about Nunes. But well, what are you saying with the Nunes thing? Because it is an interesting debate because it's a good player and he's been doing really, really well. But what do you think? Would you, if City didn't sign a right back and went into the season with Nunes at right back, would you be okay with that, or would you be annoyed with that, frustrated? Like, where would you be if City don't sign a right back?
If we didn't sign a right back, I would have problems with it due to how much money we are still able to spend PSR wise. And if we had, I like Nunes a lot. I think he can grow into a really, really good right back. But it's still a new position for him and still has, I think, the Bozo gene in him. So I would just want Livramento as well in the squad. And if Nunes outperforms Livramento, so be it. It will be based on merits. But having those two, I think, complement each other really good. And I just think it's the last piece of the puzzle. So I would be disappointed, but not because of the qualities of Nunes. I would be disappointed by how little we spent this summer when we could spend a lot more. Of course, if we offer 70 or 80 for Livramento and say 100, I understand it. We shouldn't pay 100. But I would want us to try to get Livramento. And if it doesn't work out, I think we still need to find someone who can share the minutes with Nunes, because I don't think Akanji or Lewis for me at right back would be it if we want to compete on all fronts, especially with this long summer ahead of us. Like, we have such a long season. So
yeah, no, I agree, bro. And the thing is as well, yeah, like say we don't sign another right back yet, and Nunes gets injured, we're back to playing Akanji at right back, which we've not really done properly now for over a year. And we've done all right there, to be fair, Akanji, when he's played right back. But you are right, like we've actually not really spent that much this summer. Do you know what I mean? Like we've only spent
exactly.
114 million quid this
Yeah.
summer, right? And people say, well, we spent 175 in January, LB. Yeah, I know we did, but we also spent 15 million quid last summer. So if you look at last summer, where we spent 15 million quid and then we spent 175 in January,
yeah,
like, we didn't spend any money last summer.
Yeah.
So I think the money's definitely there. It's just a case of whether City are going to go for Livramento, because the fact is, there's no one else really out there. Like, obviously there is Fernandez, but it's a major risk if you go and get him because of how young and inexperienced he is. Then people are talking about this Vanderson guy. Yeah, and Jake's right here. Like, Akanji's good at right back, yeah, if you want him just to sit back and chill.
Yeah.
But if you're asking him to go forward, you're cooked. Yeah, that's not his game. And listen, that's fine. Yeah, because that's not part of his game. Yeah, just like Kyle Walker's game wasn't really getting forward. Like, that wasn't part of his game. His game was defensive. That's cool. Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, but at the same time, if we're thinking that next season is going to be more positive for Manchester City, aka domination of the ball again, going back to dominating teams, then you're going to probably want your right back to be able to do a little bit,
But if you want to play the system of formation as it seems Pep want to, with inverted wingers, you need someone with offensive capabilities. And if Nunes get injured, you have Lewis, Akanji, and Husanov, and none of them really offers or have the abilities to offer the width and let the winger invert. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They would work, like Husanov or Akanji would work in the back three, but then you need your wingers to hold the width, and then you can't really play Foden or Mamouche out there. So you would have to play either Sabinho or Doku. Mm-hmm. So for me, I just think I think it is such an obvious spot in the squad that we need to address. And let's say we get Livramento for 70, we would have spent around 200 this summer. Mm-hmm. I think we'll at least sell or make or recoup like 100 mil in player sales and academy and sell-on clauses and all that.
What have we sold so far? Have we sold anyone yet?
Yeah. Wait, I have a list.
Well, apparently we're selling McAtee for 25 million. So that's 25 million straight away.
Yeah.
Then we've got did we get 6 million for Delap on a sell-on?
Yeah, 6 and 2.5 for Jacob Wright.
That's 31.
3.5 for Trafford. 3.5 for Trafford when he gets sold.
Yeah, that's 36.
And then you got 25 for Jan Kuto this summer as well.
Oh, is that this year? Yeah.
Yeah, they had to buy him this year.
All right, that's that 50.
And then 20% of the Egan Riley, but I can't remember what he was sold for. And then
that was a free transfer, I think. I think it was a free.
You sure?
I think so, because I remember Burnley put out a statement about it.
Okay, and then Perone, 25.
Oh yeah, that's what 71. That's about 891. That's about 100.
And then you have Callum. He's going. You have.
Maybe you go for about 15, 115.
Walker, Gundo, Grealish. Maybe. You think you won't get anything for Grealish?
No, I think it'd be loaned. I think you'll get 10 million for Kovacic though, so you're up to 125.
Yeah,
you get the Kovacic.
Maybe sell Ortega for 10, Stones 10, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you sell Ortega, you're gonna have to buy a player.
Yeah, of course. But
you're looking at least around 125 million pound worth of player sales there.
Plus probably other academy products we don't really think about.
Yeah, you're gonna do at least 125 million of sales.
Yeah,
at least 125 million of sales.
Probably be racking up around 150 when it's all said and done. Yeah, and if we spend 200, that's a minus net spend of 50. And we are so much in the plus either way. And then we have the Club World Cup, where we already generated around like 40 million quid. And if we go further and further, we could make around 100. which means we basically have made up all the money we spent this summer by the Club World Cup and academy sales. That's 250, like selling players, right? So, yeah, man, we're in a really good spot. And for me, we just need to go big on Livramento, test Newcastle's resolve. Because for me, if I was Newcastle, I think they can do, like, they need to improve their attack. And attackers are expensive. Like, if they could get a Kudos for like 70 or 80, like if they get 70 for Livramento, buy Kudos, and then offer 25 for Wesley as a right back. Brighton want Wesley, we want Wesley. Why wouldn't Newcastle want Wesley? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would benefit them a lot. But let's see. It's all about after here in July and the Club World Cup. I think we'll try to get some players out and then focus on Livramento.
Yeah, no, I've said this about Newcastle as well. It's like they're not in PSR problems in terms of being able to like they're not going to breach anything, yeah. But at the same time, how much can they actually spend? Because apparently they pulled out on the deal to sign Trafford because it was too expensive. They've just missed out on that Brighton striker. What's he called?
Pedro.
João Pedro.
Yeah, but they're not done. They just got 2 offers rejected, and I think they're preparing a 3rd. But now Chelsea is trying to get involved, which probably will ramp up things. Because they already agreed terms with Pedro.
Yeah. It's just a bit weird, isn't it? Because it's like, the problem is, and I've spoke about this before, is there's just not that many right backs out there, right? And this is why I'm kind of like, I wish this Martin Fernandes guy at Porto would have been 1 year older, man. Because for me, I'm like, I've seen a couple clips of him and he does look all right, to be fair, but you can't be going spending 50 odd million quid on him short. Or maybe you can. I don't know. I've not seen him enough. I've not seen this guy enough to be like fully convinced that you can go and spend this 50 million quid or whatever on him, because he's played 2,400 minutes. And, the problem that I've got is there are some people out there who watched him bare and have said, LB, this guy is the next like Nuno Mendes. He's mint. He's going to be class. It's like, do you take that gamble? Now, funny enough, Tiki would never have took that gamble yet, but Viana might take that gamble.
João Pedro just got, here we go, from Ornstein to Chelsea.
Wow, there you go.
just now, 50 mil.
There you go.
I think that's a good price for him.
Another player that Newcastle have missed out on. Okay, well, yeah. Have you seen this guy, bro? This Martin Fernandes, this right back.
I've heard about him. I've never watched him. I know nothing about him.
Not many people. I've watched him because he's only played 2,400 minutes. But people who have watched him, like Ash knows his Portuguese football. He's saying he's meant to be decent. Like, someone told me that he's meant to be like the next Nuno Mendes, but it's just risky, innit? It's just risky, chat. You really want to spend 50 million quid on a guy that's mad unproven? But then do you want to go and spend 80 million quid on Livramento? Because that's crazy money as well. Or do you just sit out and wait for the next guy? Or do you wait 1 more year and just see what's going on with Livramento, see what's going on with Martin Fernandes, and then go big next year when you've got 1 more year's worth of evidence? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough one. The right back market is so dead. It's so bad. Or do you just go and get like a short-term solution just to tide you over? Do you go and get Olaena? Do you go and get a Munoz? Probably cost you about 30 million, something like that. Just go and get one of them for a couple of years just to tide you over for a few years. I don't know, man. There's a lot of strategies.
Yeah. I think for me, we should go big this summer on the right back. I need that part of the rebuild to be done. So next season we can focus on keepers and centre backs and maybe a winger. Yeah, for me it's an easy one. Go big on Livramento. Like, I know people might not like it, but with how we are playing, and if we could get him for a decent amount of money, Porro would be really good. I know he's more like for like a Nunes player, but his offensive output is kind of Hakimi-like. And,
is it?
His output is pretty good, bro.
Is he better than Nunes going forward? I think Nunes going forward is fucking mint, mate. I can't lie.
I think Porro is better going forward. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Nunes going forward is excellent. Like really, 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 really good. Like really good. I think Hakimi's probably better than him, and there's probably maybe one or two players out there that are better. Think about Nunes, yeah. He can cross a ball, yeah. He can shoot because he's had a couple of goals. He gets in the box. He can drive with it. He's a fucking good right back. It's just the bozo gene, man. That's it. It's the bozo. If he didn't have the bozo gene, I'd run it for another year and just see how we get on. But I'm scared. Yeah. I'm scared that we're going to be playing a big game and he's just going to pass it to the opposition striker. And I'm going to be like, fucking hell, why the hell did we not just buy a right back, bro? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it might be a finished, chapter for him. So many players this season made a lot of big mistakes that ended in goals. Gvardiol, for example, had a period of time. And we must not forget that he didn't play much before this season. And he's been thrown around in different positions. And he's never played right back before. So it might just be a question of time before, getting rid of the bozo, because it's probably more about insecurities and being uncomfortable in certain situations that leads to the bozo moment. So, but we don't know. That's only in the future can we, when we look back at it, see if we're right or if it will just forever be a gene.
What would be the maximum you'd pay for Livramento? Is Livramento the only right back that you want? Is there any other right back that you've got your eye on, or is it just Livramento?
No, I mean, I'm not a scout or anything. Livramento is my first choice because I think the synergy with him and Nunes is really, really good. And I think Livramento could offer a lot more offensive-wise than people think he would.
And he can play left back as well.
Exactly, and he's homegrown.
In fact, funny enough, the Newcastle fans in my chat have been saying he's actually a better left back than he is a right back.
That's just a plus. So,
is it? Surely you want a better right back if he's buying him as a right back.
Well, if he's world class on the right back and legendary on the other side, man, I don't really care. And just as long as he's really good at right back, I don't really care.
Yeah. All right.
So,
but what would the max? What would the max you'd pay for him?
The number in my head says 70. But if they're asking 75, I think I'll do it as well. I think that's where I
they're going to have your pants down, though, bro. Yeah, because they're going to be like, "Yo, you need a right back, 80. Would you pay 80?
I think it is very steep, bro.
But would you pay it if you're Viana now? Would you pay 80 million for Livramento?
If you're asking me if Viana would do it, I don't think he would.
No, would you? If you're the sporting director at City right now, would you pay 80 million pounds for Tino Livramento?
That would make him our second biggest transfer ever. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I think
so. 75 is your top. You max out at 75.
Yeah.
You do 75, but you wouldn't do 80.
Yeah. So it's because I think 70 is. I think he's worth 60, and I would go to 70. And if they're like, nah, it's 75 and nothing, I say, okay, fuck it, let's do it. But I can't just keep going up and up. You know what I mean? I think he's a 60 million pound player for what he offers, and because what we need, I think we could go up to 70. And if they're like, we don't care about 70, the price target has always been 75, I'd be like, fuck it, give me his
chat, how much is this Martin Fernandez done here at Porto? What are we saying about how much is he?
Wasn't he 50 or something?
50 mil for him.
Yeah, it doesn't have a release clause of 50.
I'm not sure. So it's yeah. Oh, actually, it's got 60 million euros release clause. So yeah, about 50 million quid it is release clause. You could potentially negotiate it, maybe.
Yeah.
But obviously
that's a lot.
Not. But
For
50
90
million.
euros.
Yeah, so that's a lot for him though as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I would rather pay 70 for Livramento. I think that's better value for money.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just
Prem
mad,
proven English homegrown, 22 year, can play both sides. I think that 20 million difference is it's not enough for me to would want to pay that for Fernandes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do, man. Because obviously you had the news like 2 weeks ago that Pep apparently wasn't sure on Nunes for the right back spot, but he's been playing really well, man. And credit to him. Well, see what they do. They might just decide to wait it out for a year. Let me come to some of these super chats. I smash these likes up, people, man. 700 people locked in. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Smash up the likes. We need 30 people to get to 200 likes, man. Let's see what you guys are saying. Big up to SB with a 22 months break. Said LB, you should invite Sai over for a problem. Sai's already been over. Yeah, Sai's already been over. He loves a drink, man. So yeah, that's already happened, and it'll happen again. It'll definitely happen again. Big up to Robertinho says, run Cafunes, Bray. I'm excited for this cup run. I'm excited for this cup run, man. I'm enjoying this club. Are you enjoying this Club World Cup? What was your opinion going into this tournament? Remind me, could you be asked, or was you not that excited?
No. I actually did a classic LB
flip flop,
and yeah. So in during the season, I didn't really care at all for the Club World Cup, and then you actually on a stream made me change my mind about it and got me hyped for it. And then with the new signings coming in, that hype increased. I think I have my questions for how it's being like managed and where it's played and all that, but I enjoy to watch City playing it. That might just be due to such a bad season with such horrible play, but right now I'm very happy to watch City play, bro, and I'm looking forward to watch the replay of the game on Monday night, Tuesday night, and I think we have a really good chance of going all the way. I'm looking. I think we do
as well with the way that we're playing. Obviously, like it's difficult, right? Because I don't know anything about Al Hilal and that. I've not watched him and that yet, but I've been I've been impressed with how we played. You know what I mean? Like even in the first game where it wasn't perfect, like first 20 minutes, I've seen the vision. Second game improved again. Third game improved again. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the way that we're playing faster football. We're keeping the ball better, and like not just keeping the ball passing it sideways. We're keeping it in better areas. I feel like we're playing with a lot more intent and like progressiveness in our
17, play. 18, bro.
And 18, bro. 19. Like if you think of all the things last year that we was moaning about, and I'm not saying it's perfect, because people keep on saying, "Oh, yeah, over." I'm not glazing it. I'm fully aware that like there's still issues. Like we're still getting cuts a little bit on the counter attack and that, but if you think of a lot of the problems last year, how many times did Darwin Field just get the ball and pass it left and right, doing nothing with it? Like that's not really happening now. We're getting the ball, we're moving it forward. A lot of that's jacked down to Rodri, because Rodri gets the ball and he plays it out wide. You know, there just seems to be, I say it like when I was watching City last year, it was like watching City on like life support, like on a ventilator. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking everything was like slow and lethargic, and it was like, fucking hell, what's going on? It seems like we've had that adrenaline shot and we're starting to play proper football now. Yeah, but obviously it's early days, man. Like it's early days. Like who knows? That could have been for a couple of games. One game against Juve, maybe we'll play Al Hilal and be absolutely ass. But I'm confident, that we've turned a corner now at this football club, and that we're back on it now. We're going forward into the season. Yeah, we're going to be watching better football, and we're going to be getting results and just be a better football team. I remember as well, I say this as well. We finished third last year, and in my opinion, we were crap.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, crap by our own standards, but I thought we were crap last year, and we finished third.
Yeah.
So if we've improved on it, and we definitely have improved on it, Rodri's come back. We bought Tijani Reinders. Yeah, we're going to have Gavardiol at the back instead of fucking like Akanji and that. Yeah, we've got a proper left back. We might have a proper right back, maybe not, but maybe Nunes will cook, whatever. Hopefully Foden comes back into it. We've got Cherky. And we finished third last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm really optimistic about the season.
I think for all, if you could like make different points of what was going wrong last season, Foden not hitting, not having Rodri, injuries, not having qualities or legs. I think why we're being so positive right now, we all know that we're not at our best at the moment, but all those points have been addressed. And when you see us playing now, you're seeing Foden getting into shape again, scoring goals, seem happy. You have Aït-Nouri, our first left back in I don't know how many years. Reinders, who's like our Günther replacement and looks like he's played with the team for 3 or 4 seasons. You have a new leadership group. You have Bernardo, who seems early days, but seems as the right choice for this season due to last season as the captain. I just think there's all the different negative of last season is being turning into positives. It's still early days, but the signs are there. And if we just keep building upon that, I think we're going to have a really good season.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
And I think a lot of clubs fans are scared of us, which they should
Oh,
be.
definitely.
They should be.
I was thinking about this as well. Let me just do the last 2 super chats because there's something I want to ask you about. George Biebre says, LB, I think the new coaches could do a job with Nunes. Yeah, potentially. It's all about that bozo. Eliminate the bozo and you're chilling. Don't eliminate the bozo and you're cooked. Bill Dillon say, at the Juve game, I can't tell you how many times during the game on water breaks, Rodri will be speaking to Reinders like he's mentoring. Them two are going to cook, bro. Reinders, my son. Talk to me, bro, about Reinders, mate, because I think this guy, mate, I say it again, yeah. I've done a lot of scout-alongs over the last couple of years, and last year I did quite a lot of scout-alongs, and a lot of players that I scouted, yeah, dropped stinkers, yeah. Reinders, yeah. He had one not-so-good game, but to be fair, AC Milan were just absolutely dead, right? The other games, he was very, very impressive. And the thing is with him is, yeah, Ed in the chat spot on. He fits like a glove, yeah. I said when I watched him at AC Milan, I said, if we sign this guy, he's going to come into our team and he ain't going to need any time to settle. Yeah, and if you put this guy next to Rodri, I think we have just seriously upgraded our midfield, mate. Yeah, because Rodri, by the way, looks like he's going to be fine, by the way. Yeah, in terms of, like, some people said, oh, Rodri might come back and he'll be finished. Yeah, Rodri's not going to be back and finished. Rodri's going to be fine. Yeah, it'll take him a little bit of time to get back up to 100%, but he's going to be fine. And you got Rodri and Reinders. Yeah, because for me, mate, Reinders, oh my days, I think he looks like he's been playing in this team for years. He's a proper player. Yeah, and how we signed him for the price we did is, I have no idea how I managed to do that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I said it before. Reinders is the perfect Günther replacement. He offers a lot of what Günther was doing for us for so many seasons. The runs behind the defense, runs into the box crashing, have that element of control as well, but still being techy. He's very willing to run, which open up a lot of space for other players to run into or drive with the ball. And I don't. Does he have an assist yet? I don't know how much DNA has yet.
No, he played the ball through to Nunes, but Nunes passed it to
pre-assist. But the DNA would definitely come. You can see it in the way he's playing and all the runs he's making and the position he's taking up around the penalty area. So for me, our strongest lineup for me would be Reinders, Rodri, Cherki, Foden, Mamouche, Haaland. If you just
on paper, I agree. However, Doku and Savio, to be fair, have started well, and Doku's on fire, mate.
Yeah, but it's for me, that's true, and that's really good because that's also something. One of the negatives for last season, we didn't have any wingers with GNA. So having those two getting into form and contributing with GNA will massively help us out. Massively. Like having those, like when I say the strongest lineup, that doesn't mean the lineup that will play every single game. It's just for the way we're playing. I think if we have Nunes and Aït-Nouri on the backs with them bombing forward, I just think that will create so much overload around the penalty area with Foden and Mamouche inverting, not midfield-wise, but around the penalty area. So when we play low blocks, overloading the penalty area should allow more space and an ability to break them down. So I'm looking very much forward to seeing that lineup in effect. I don't know if we will see it against Al Hilal. Have you made your predictions for the lineup, or what you would go with for that?
No, I've not done a lineup. I don't think Rodri should start, in my opinion, because
I agree.
He played a lot of minutes. I actually thought he played longer than I thought he played like 50, and then he played 65.
Didn't you see Pep said that he wanted to sub him half time, but then Rodri said a few more minutes.
Right, fair. So
okay.
So in that case, then I wouldn't start Rodri. I'd bench. I would bring him on.
Yeah.
For 30 minutes just to keep it moving.
Exactly.
Well, you don't want him to stop in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You want it to keep it up, but just like
accumulate minutes.
Yeah, we should be beating Al Hilal, without Rodri. So I'd probably drop Rodri or rest him or whatever.
So we do a lineup. Do you want to do the
I can get it up on screen. Let me get it up. So I'd start Edison. I'm not fucking about, mate. Yeah. Like I want to win this tournament now. We're here. Yeah, we're already in the knockout phase. Yeah, I don't want to be messing around.
Also, Ortega is like contemplating on leaving, and we want Ederson to sign a new contract. Don't go switcheroo on those two. Just keep Ederson in there. Make him happy, man.
No, I agree. Right, so I'll put Ederson in goal. I put Nunes at right back. No doubt about that, 100%.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd be playing Huzanov and Gavardio. Yes.
Okay.
Are we doing our team or are we doing predicted 11?
No, we're doing our team and the reasoning why. I did my 11 earlier today on X, and I would want you to do the lineup and then
we can compare.
Talk me through why you would choose.
Oh, okay. So I go Huzanov over Diaz because, again, this is a game that we should be winning, right? Really, unless we like mad disrespect Al Hilal, if we put out a good team, we should be winning this. I already know what Diaz, and I've said this. Sorry, chat. I know I've said this a few times, but I'm just explaining it again, for the purposes of obviously this lineup. I already know what Diaz gives me and what Diaz doesn't give me. He's been here 3 or 4 years now. I know what he's good at. I know what he's bad at. Huzanov, I still don't fully know because I've not seen him that much. But I like what I see. And I still believe that there is a chance that you may be better off with Huzanov over Diaz because of Huzanov's pace. And I think that might be more important. And also, Diaz's aerial duels as well has really shocked me how bad that is. So for me, I'd be playing Huzanov over Diaz just to see how he gets on. Left-sided centre-back, I'm going to play Gavardio. He was rested in the last game, which was probably the correct move. In fact, is he back? Is he back, Gavardio? Because he did have a little bit of a knock or something, didn't he, chat? Is he back or not? Is he not fit?
He's available. He was on the bench for the last game, so I don't see why not.
I don't want to risk him though.
Yeah, do your back four, and then let's talk about why you're choosing that back four, because I think it's very interesting to see where you're going with this, because I have my own arguments for why I'm choosing different players for this game.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to risk him just yet. I'll probably play him in the next one, but this one I'd go Ake. Simple facts. He's left-footed. I don't want to play Diaz there. Don't want to play Akanji there. And Stones, for me, just doesn't seem...
He's gone.
Is the only player that's not played any minutes in this tournament. So, he just doesn't seem like he's in at the moment. Left back, it will be 8 Nori, 100%. Yeah, liking what I'm seeing from this guy already. I think he's a baller.
Pep probably starts Stones this game, just because we're saying this. Probably.
Maybe. But, we're in the knockout phase as well. So I don't really think he can afford to be fucking about too much.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, midfield. So as I've already said, I wouldn't be playing Rodri in this one.
Oh, wait. Can talk about just the back four?
Yeah.
So I agree with Nunes, Huzanov, and Aït-Nouri, and Ake. You done my back four entirely as how I did it. My reasoning behind it was kind of what you came to with Guardiola, minutes. So Ake only played 60 minutes this tournament. Guardiola played 60-something minutes, but played so many minutes during the season. And as you said, we should beat Al Hilal if we put a good team out. Doesn't have to be our best team.
That back four is fine. There's nothing wrong with that back four in it.
And then we have Inter next game, where I would play Guardiola centre back. That's why I would go with what you're doing. And the reason why I'm going Husanov over Diaz is because of the choices of fullbacks. Because I want some pace in there against Al Hilal, which have pretty quick wingers. And now when they're not playing Mitrovic in front, I don't remember his name, but he's pretty quick as well. So that's why I would go with that back four. So I agree.
All right, midfield, I would go Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Again, like the reasoning. I don't want to play Rodri. I think bring him off the bench. Don't want to start him 2 games in a row and push him. Nico G needs minutes. He's only played 60 minutes in this tournament so far. And again, if he's not getting any game time over Gundogan, I think like what we're doing here, this is a £50 million player. Yeah. He needs to play, right? He needs to play. With him, I would be going Tijani Reinders. For me, there's no... Is that the right one? Yeah. That one. There's absolutely no reason not to start Tijani Reinders. He is a new signing. He's been doing really well. And I think that would also be a pretty interesting midfield duo of Nico and Reinders. Good on the ball, can progress the ball forward. And playing them together should be enough in midfield on the defensive duties as well. So that would be sort of my defensive / midfield. I don't know what you went with. You went with something.
No, I went with the same. So, but I'm
you went with the same as well.
Yeah,
so far we've agreed on everything. So
far. Ball knowledge.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to see your 10.
Okay, what would I do now? I would. Okay, let me just stick Haaland in, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is just easier if I put the Haaland in there. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm also going to do. I'm going to put Doku here.
Okay. 3rd start in a row, yeah?
I think for me, Jeremy Doku deserves to play. Jeremy Doku has been probably one of our best players in this tournament so far. And he's full on confidence right now. You can tell on the pitch when he's playing, the confidence is mad high. You can tell with his what he's saying in his press speeches, in his interviews, that he's mad high on confidence. And I just don't know why, when you've got a player who has had 2 years where it's been okay, nothing really better than okay, why you would then drop him in a knockout game when he's cooking and being one of our best players. So for me, I'd be getting him in the team. I'd be starting him 100%. Okay, what else would I do here? I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd play Foden off the right. And I'd play Cherky in the 10. Yeah. And then basically what I would do is when we got the ball, get Foden to push in a little bit, and get Nunes to push forward, and he'd be my sort of width option on the right-hand side. And then, you can push him forward or whatever, or put him into midfield and have 3 in the midfield. You got options there, or you could play a 3 at the back if you really wanted to do that. Like you got quite a few options. But yeah, on paper, that would be my starting 11 for the game.
And do you have Inter in your mind in any way, shape, or form?
Not at all.
Because I agree with you with all the players except Doku. I wouldn't start him again. I would start Mamouche, also because he only got 45 minutes last time. And also because it's one of the lineups I would like to see in effect with the fullbacks, where you invert Foden and Mamouche. But we also need to remember that Doku, and due to his explosiveness, is subjective to injuries. So for me, I would save him for the Inter game. and spread out the minutes.
No,
For me,
I hear your reasoning. I just think that you've got, he's cooking right now, and I just feel that like when he's cooking, and like this is a big year for Doku, man, and I feel like he's cooking on gas right now. And I just think let him play, man. Let him play. Let him keep going, and let him just get a little bit of momentum, and maybe, you got to put some trust and faith into the player for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think, one thing that Pep does, he's a player, he's a manager, sorry, that rotates players a lot. Yeah, we've seen it pure times with Mahrez. Mahrez scored hat tricks, and has been dropped. And I just think for me, like Doku now is at that stage where I think he's playing well. Just get him in the team, man, and let him keep it up.
But you could play him just as a sub. I just keep going back to that. It's such a long season. And even though this is a tournament and it's important, it's not as important as the Champions League or the Premier League. That's where our main focus should be, and we should still treat this in some shape or form like a preseason tournament. So I just think to spread out the minutes more. I'm afraid that not spreading the minutes around in the squad will harm us during the season.
All right. Well, there's a poll in the live chat right now. I've literally just done it, chat. Let us know in the live poll, should Jeremy Doku start against Al Hilal? Let us know what you guys are saying in the live poll. See what you guys are saying in the chat as well. What about Savio? Would he get mins? Yeah, Savio could come off the bench, man. You know what I mean? For me. I don't think Savio's been as good as Doku. I think Savio and Doku are not comparable. Yeah, it's very important for us not to be put Savio and Doku in the same conversation, because Doku is in his third season. So for me, this is a make or break year for Jeremy Doku. Yeah, it's not a make or break year really for Savio. It's only his second year. And while Savio has been good this tournament, yeah, Doku has been, in my opinion, a lot better than Savio. Doku's been really, really good. So I think Doku needs to start. If you want to start Savio, that's cool. Yeah, but I think they're different situations in my personal opinion. Also, yeah, it's Cancelo, so I want to see Doku play against fucking Cancelo. Yeah, get me Doku versus Cancelo, man. I need that.
One thing we've seen this tournament is, and I'm pretty sure Pep uses all 5 substitutions each game. So almost all players will get game time. 16 players will probably get game time for each game, and then the ones who didn't get any minutes will probably get minutes next game. So either way, we will see Doku start or play, either starting or getting subbed on. That's 100%.
Yeah, and we've seen him make subs at 55, 60 minutes as well. So these players are getting some decent minutes. It's not like they're coming on and they're only getting 10 minutes or whatever to impress. They're getting decent minutes, man.
Yeah.
Big up Fraud Daddy says you can't tell Pep Bernadette what doesn't play. Yeah, I mean he might not play this game though, innit? I think he'll definitely play the next game if we get to Inter Milan or whoever they're playing. Yeah. But I think he can rest Bernadette for this game. Big up to Brian as well, says Messi's still class, but he has no stamina left. Yeah, you can still tell Brian. First half he was a bit shit, but second half, man, he still got it, man. He's still got it. Top player. Unbelievable. Probably the best player on the pitch in the second half, to be honest with you. Yeah, big up Simon as well, says very hot weather. Yeah, that's another reason for the subs. But yeah, that's the team that I'd go for if it was me. If you want to drop Foden for Savio, fine. If you want to play Foden in the middle and put bench Cherky, I'm not really that fussed. But the defense for me, I think, is I don't really want to see anything other than that. I want to see that midfield duo of Nico Gonzalez and Reinders. I don't think I'm going to see it because I am now starting to get to the view that maybe Pep isn't playing Nico for whatever reason, although it's probably still a little bit too early to come to that conclusion. And then the other one that I want to see is Haaland finish his dinner, because he's had 3 chances in this tournament so far. He's not scored one of them. So the next chance Haaland gets, I really need him to be bagging it. But yeah, man, I'm just glad. Look at the conversations we're having though, chat. Look at the conversations we're having with the forward line. Yeah, I'm saying put Doku in. Sai saying nah, start Marmouche. Yeah, I'm seeing the chat say, "Oh, LB, why not playing Savio?" Look at these conversations.
What about Bob?
Yeah? We don't
Haven't
even
even talked
mention
about
Bob.
him. Yeah.
Look at these conversations we're having, man. We have the way that we've built this squad up in that attacking line now is very, very good, very impressive. Yeah, I'm so happy now. Yeah, we're having these conversations and we're picking. I know it's kind of a little bit different now, yeah, because obviously it's pre-season tournament, right? But I'm so glad we're having these conversations about who to pick based on who's playing the best and not who's playing the worst, like the least shit. It's good, man. It's good. The club, like, pick up Viana, mate. Yeah, he's brought these players in. Yeah, Mamouche, what a signing. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. What about Bob as a movie star and Bill Murray? Oh yeah, but Bob. The thing is with Bob, yeah, he's obviously just he needs to come off the bench, man. He's not fit enough to start a game, mate. But like, I'm just loving it, man. I'm loving this squad. Like this squad at the moment. I'm really, really liking. I still think we need a right back. Yeah, and I need Savio Doku to cook this season. But man, I'm liking the squad. I'm really liking the balance of the squad. The balance of the squad going into the season seems real nice. Real nice.
Have you ever seen any club in world football do a complete rebuild within 6 months? I mean, players, staff, everything. Because that's what Viana have done. We just need a right back, and then in 6 months, we have done a complete rebuild of squad and club.
I don't know to what degree it happened, but you could look back to Pep Guardiola's first stint his only stint at Barcelona, but his first year in charge of Barcelona, where he took over the Barcelona team and he took over a mega team, apparently, yeah, even though they were fucking in the shit when he took over. And if you look at the
big names,
yeah, if you look at the how Guardiola dealt with that in the first year that he was at Barcelona, getting rid of Ronaldinho, Deco, and that, and then bringing in the Barcelona B players. That was a rebuild. So yeah, he has to. This is why I find it hilarious when people say, "Oh, Pep's never done a rebuild." Yeah, he has. He's done a rebuild at City before. He's been here a decade. Why do people act like Pep Guardiola's never done a rebuild? It's so fucking weird. Like, look at the team that he had when he first won the league, yeah, compared to the team that he had like 3 years ago or 2 years ago when we won the league last time. Like, it's completely different. So why people act like he's never done a rebuild before is crazy. What? He has to replace a full 25 players for it to be considered a rebuild. Now, that's not a rebuild in my head. That is like a madness. Yeah, a rebuild for me is like you take like 11 players out of a squad and replace them with another 11. And he's done that before. So I always didn't really understand why so many people was like, oh, Pep's never done a rebuild before. It's like, yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. It's weird. People are weird, man. An overhaul. Yeah, he's done an overhaul, isn't it? He's done it before, man. Like, do you not remember that photo that was on social media of the first team that won the Premier League under Pep? And then, like, his last team, it was all, like, blacked out and shit. And there was, like, one player left. It was Kevin De Bruyne and that. It's just weird, man. I don't know, man. I feel like people just try and find anything just to sort of like hit Pep Guardiola with. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, they're so desperate for him to fail and they just fucking hate him so much. They'll just slag him off for everything. I was like, yeah, last year, yeah, he did. Obviously, he needed to get criticised sometimes because some of his decision making was insane. But I feel like people go OTT, and I keep saying it. I don't know what your take. I'd love to get your opinion on this, but I've been saying that I think that a lot more happened behind the scenes last year than we're led to believe.
Definitely.
We might find out when he releases his next book.
I think when Walker walked out on the club, yeah, I tweeted about it, and people told me to calm down when I said a captain leaving mid-season in a crisis is a huge fucking red flag. Like, that is in no shape, way, or form in sports okay. Yeah, I think that move really, really pissed Pep off. Like, I think.
Did you not remember his press conference, bro? Not remember his press conference when Pep spoke about it. Pep was fuming, mate.
Yeah,
Pep was fuming, mate. Because you know what Pep, you know about Pep, yeah, is what we always say about Pep in it chat. It's like really loyal, like really, 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 really loyal. And obviously, like last year, I think that was actually to his detriment at times because he was being loyal to certain players that maybe he shouldn't have been loyal to. Like maybe he should have brought in Messi early. Yeah, maybe he should have brought in Nico O'Reilly earlier. Maybe he should have played McAtee a little bit earlier, a bit more consistently, whatever. But that's, listen, you take the shit with the good, yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
over the course of his career, it's obviously benefited him a lot. But yeah, and obviously when your captain decides to leave, and listen, by the way, I actually agree with the decision that Walker left, because I think, and I think personally, I don't think he was very good for us last year at all, the first half of the season. And I don't think, clearly, I don't think it was very, very good. However, that's my opinion as a fan. Pep Guardiola's opinion is not the same as my opinion.
But Pep has also said that a captain's responsibilities is not just on the pitch. So if you're not playing good as a captain, you can stay in the locker room and you can make sure that off the pitch is as good as can be and support the guys and be that leader. And he definitely wasn't, bro.
No, but I wasn't. But no, that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. I have a different opinion to Pep Guardiola because I'm a fan. He's a manager. So as a manager, he's saying, like, okay, you might be not very good on the pitch or whatever. You're getting all the shit from the fans, but you're the captain of the football club. I need you to be the captain in the dressing room and in training and shit. And whilst, I want him to do that, I'm not that deep into it because I'm a fan. So I don't really care about that kind of shit. I do care about it a little bit, right? Of course I do. But like, do you get what I'm saying? What am I bothered about? I'm bothered about performances and like how you're playing for me on the pitch, right? This guy's getting paid 250 grand a week or whatever it is. Yeah, you only get paid 250 grand a week to be a cheerleader in the dressing room. I don't think so, mate. Yeah, but obviously, again, I'm a fan speaking, not the manager. The point I'm making is I think that now Pep's getting everything sorted, and obviously we're going to let a couple players leave, and they get a squad just how he likes it. I think you're going to see the best of Pep Guardiola again. I think for Pep, I think last year, obviously, it was tough, mate. Yeah, obviously, he had the shit going on with his wife, and that obviously that can't help the situation. The captain leaves halfway through the season. I think a lot of shit would have gone in behind the scenes, behind the dressing room, and I think it was a really tough. I think I say it again. I'll say this now with 99.9% confidence. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would have been the hardest year he's ever had as a manager. And by the way, the first year at his football club was pretty tough. Yeah, but I think last year was the hardest year he's ever had as a manager. Yeah, and I think that this year, now everything's getting nice again, I think he's gonna be back, man. He's gonna want to prove everyone wrong.
When your wife is leaving, the last thing you want is your captain leaving as well. You know, the feeling of abandonment and I think somewhat of betrayal. I think he had a very tough season, man. But you can see it now with the revamp of the squad and the backroom staff. He just seemed happy and re-energized. He also is together with his wife again, so that might also be a big factor in it. Let's hope they just stay together until the end of his contract. One question before we wrap up, What do you think that the injury to Echeverri means for his short-term future at City?
Nothing. It's only 3 weeks.
Yeah, but that's the entire Club World Cup.
Yeah, but if the plan was for him to be loaned out, he'll still be loaned out.
Yeah, but do you think with Reyes, which he seems wants to keep, it seems like he's betting on the younger players and this whole revamp of new faces as well. So let's say, do you think that Echeverri could have stayed at City if he had a good Club World Cup? And now due to the injuries,
I think he can stay at City anyway. I think anyone with a pair of eyes, is able to see that this guy is extremely talented. There's a couple of questions that you need to answer when it comes to Echeverri. One, is if you keep him, how much is he going to play? Right? Because you've got Cherky, you got Foden, you got Mamouche, Savio, and you've still got Bob, right? So how much is he going to play? If he leaves, is that going to be a detriment to the squad? Do we have enough players? Because if we don't have enough players, if you think Echeverri leaves and you think we're light, keep him, right? But if you think we could loan him, and we'll be okay with the players we've got, then you could potentially loan him. Yeah, if it was me, I don't know, man. I'm kind of torn on it a little bit, to be honest with you, because I think part of me is wanting him to stay, but if he stays, I just don't know how much minutes Pep's going to give him, bro. And I don't know how good that's going to be. Whether he loans him out, then he's going to play every game. Samley's apparently saying Pep wants Echeverri to stay. That's because he's realised how good he is, mate. And I said this, he should have been playing him last season.
But if you want him to stay, which is what I wanted to get out of it, we need to get rid of players, bro. If you want Reyes to stay, Echeverri to stay. That's players we probably thought about. Yeah, that's not enough.
I think that'd be enough. Why?
Nah, it wouldn't be enough. How is that enough? If you're keeping Echeverri and Reyes as well, that's not enough.
Akanji.
Yeah, Stones.
No, you got to get rid of Akanji or Stones. You pick one.
Yeah, but you think he would get rid of Akanji over Stones?
No, I don't. But I'm not asked which one you get rid of. But
okay. So those three from the squad who's currently in Club World Cup. Yeah.
If you sign Livramento, Rico Lewis or Nico O'Reilly, one of them goes.
Loan, sold.
Sold.
Really? Who would you sell?
Whichever one wants to go.
Okay, you're not really bothered about.
Not really asked. Like, I'm not really bothered. Like, speak to him, innit? Like, yo,
yeah.
What you saying? Like, Rico Lewis is this his fourth year?
It's
his fourth year, isn't it? In like the third team.
Yeah.
He broke in the treble year.
So it's third, yeah.
It's his third
this
year.
Will be his fourth. Yeah.
You speak to Rico and say, listen, if you say he signed Livramento, Rico Lewis ain't playing, bro. He ain't. He's just not going to play. So
and then midfield, you have Foden, Cherky, Echeverri, Reinders, Nico, Bernardo, Rodri, O'Reilly.
The thing is, people Charizard said O'Reilly's backup left back. Yeah, but the problem you've got is he might not be, because if you sign Livramento,
exactly,
and say he gets injured, Livramento can play left back, and he's played left back a lot. So he might put Livramento left back and start Nunes. So he might not. He might be third choice left back.
And Ake, Gavardio, both ahead of him.
So I think you've got to let a couple of players go. The problem is no one wants to leave. Everyone's saying they want to stay. Stones just come out and said he ain't going anywhere.
But we heard that before, man. That's sometimes, most of the times, just act for the camera. We heard Maris do it when he left as well.
Sure.
So I think also that players like Stones and Gundu and all that, I think they have tremendous respect for the club, for the chairman, for Pep, and for the players. And I think if it's for the better of the club, I think, and of course if there's a attractive offer, I think they will be willing to part ways with the club if that's what the club is wanting. You know what I mean? I think they would respect it. Well, as long as there's an acceptable offer on the other side.
O'Reilly's still not signed a new deal, has he?
Who?
O'Reilly.
I can't remember.
He could have left in January, but he's not signed a new contract, has he, chat? He's not signed a new contract since January, has he, O'Reilly? I don't remember him signing a new deal. So he's only got I swear down, he's only got a year or 2 years left on his deal. Chat, O'Reilly, he didn't sign a new contract, did he, after January? He has signed a new contract.
It's expiring in 2028.
Right. I don't know. It's weird because both of those players are midfielders, not defenders.
Yeah.
And they ain't going to play.
And do we think that Rico, with his obvious deficiencies in the physical department, is good enough to play for City in this current state of the game?
I think he is good enough to play in midfield.
Not technical wise, but do you think?
I think he can learn it. Yeah, I think Rico Lewis is mint, mate, in the midfield. I actually like him. I actually really do like him in midfield. He's always looking for a forward pass. He gets forward. He gets in the box and that. I think he's a good player. Nico O'Reilly was a midfielder. We're not seeing him playing midfield enough yet to say whether he's going to be good enough to play midfield.
But don't you think the game have changed a lot? So it's a lot of pace and physicality and all that. I just think the current version of the game doesn't suit.
It is when you've got Rodri in the midfield. You sort of I think the necessity for that physical aspect of the game is reduced slightly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. It's
I think
tough.
one of them's
It's tough.
going though. I'd be surprised if both of them are still here going into next season.
At least one of them
purely on the
slowed
basis
up.
that like where they're going to play.
Yeah, but yeah. I want to see some outgoing soon, or like here it goes for some of the players. It all also went quiet on Jack. Like there was a bit of rumors before we went to the Club World Cup, and then when we went, it just died down.
I think I can't remember who said it, but it stinks of a deadline day transfer for Jack Grealish, doesn't it? We're going to get fucking took to the cleaners, by the way.
We are, yeah.
We are. We're going to get took to the cleaners. Because, bro, we got to remember, he's on a 300 grand a week contract, right? Yeah. So if you're a club that comes to City now in June and says, we'll take him on loan because we're not selling him. Yeah, we all fully agree we're not selling this guy. He'll be loaned. That City will go, all right, sweet. Well, you got to pay 200 grand a week. And they'll be like, negotiate. Yeah. If you come to City on transfer deadline day and say, we'll take him off your hands, we'll pay 100 grand, you pay 200 grand. What's City going to do?
Sterling situation. Arsenal, Chelsea. Arsenal went to Chelsea. They only paid 100 of his 300.
They're only paid 100.
Be like that. Yeah. But you're probably right, bro.
That's what's going to happen.
That's kind of the same exact situation.
It's the same situation, bro. Yeah. Why would you wouldn't do it if you that's how you do it, isn't it? It's business. You just go to City on deadline day and go, we'll take him, but we're only paying 100 grand a week. And what's City going to say? No. All right, and keep him and never play him because clearly Pep don't want to play him. And guess what? You can pay him 300 grand a week instead of 200. We're going to get cooked, but it is what it is. We get cooked. We won a fucking treble. It is what it is. It's an L. It is what it is.
You know who might do that that deal, depending if they don't get their primary targets? Arsenal. Arsenal could do that, and he would go to them to prove us wrong.
I think if he goes
Arteta love Jack, bro. Arteta love Jack.
But it's another Arsenal always signing these like City rejects, but Chelsea rejects.
Exactly. So it's right down their house, and if they don't get Rodrigo, Williams going to Barcelona, their options is reducing and. They might focus on the striker, and then they can't really fight the perfect left winger. So deadline day, they offer 100K a week for Jack, and then Jack and Martinelli on the left. I think
it'll be Spurs. I think it'll be Spurs, and I think Spurs will come to City on the last week of the window and say, "We'll take him off your hands, but we're only loaning him, and we'll pay 100 grand a week." And City will go, "Right, sound." There you go. And then what you've got to hope is he then smacks it up next year. So then then we can sell him next year.
Well, if he goes to Arsenal, we don't want him to smack it up too much.
No, but if he goes to Arsenal, we ain't loaning him to Arsenal. We'll only sell him to Arsenal. We ain't going to loan him to Arsenal, are we? But Spurs, we don't give a shit about Spurs. City will loan him to Spurs. And if he goes to Spurs, you then want him to do well, so then you can sell him next year.
Yeah,
true. If he goes to Arsenal, you're not loaning a player to Arsenal.
And also, Spurs did 2 loan deals, and then they bought the player after the season, and they didn't even have good seasons. Dan, so and Tell. So
they had obligations to buy, didn't they? I think.
I don't think they have obligations.
No, Tell they had an obligation to buy. I think.
No, option, right? Wasn't it option?
No, I swear it was an obligation. An obligation. Was it obligation or what was it on Tell? I swear it was an obligation to buy, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I thought it was an obligation.
Might be, but. You might be right. If SA don't go Arsenal and don't go Tottenham, they might go in for late swoop for Grealish.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. But all right, Sam. Good catch up, bro. Good catch up. Don't leave it too long next time, innit? You know what I'm saying? Not for the player ratings, no.
Don't swerve me, man. Don't swerve me.
All right, but you're not about at 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning, no?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
No worries. Right, sweet. Well, big up to you guys, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you did, smash a like on the stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well. If you're new, I'll be back tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow's Monday. The match is tomorrow night, isn't it? Like tomorrow night, Tuesday morning, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. That's
so
true.
it's tomorrow. Right, as if it's like technically, like, it's not really technically tomorrow, but it is tomorrow, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sound
Yeah.
all right, then. Buzzing, we would be there. Guys, smash a like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Lee's doing a market opportunity stream. I'll redirect you there. Big up to Citeh. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, people. Let's go.
Peace out.